Yeah, that's all I got for the catching up on the week. Let's see what we got. I want to see what Be Humble is talking about. I'm curious. Oh, I think I just saw the title.
Be Humsky. Let's see what you got, man.
You said I'm asking a question. Okay, yeah. Better make it clear.
You know that 15 years ago, Chicago made one of the worst deals in U.S. history? It was 2000.
Why they gotta have the music though? We don't own the rights to that YouTube, okay?
2008 during the recession, and the city was desperate for money. So Mayor Daley sold all of Chicago's parking meters to a group of investors from the United Arab Emirates in exchange for $1.1 billion. The deal said that for the next 75 years, Chicago has to pay 100% of parking meter revenue to the investor's company, which is conveniently named Chicago Parking Meters, LLC. Chicago's 30,000 parking meters generate about $200 million in revenue annually, and because the city is sending that money overseas, none of it will go to Chicagoans. If you think that's bad, it gets worse. If any streets are closed for public events like street festivals or the marathon, the city has to pay this company the money they would have made from parking if the streets were open. The deal also says that if Chicago wants to remove even a single parking meter, they have to pay this company the value of what that meter would have generated until the deal ends in 2084. This prevents Chicago from building more bike or bus lanes because it would be so expensive to remove the meters. We have 59 years left until this deal expires, and nobody's found a loophole to get out of it yet. So next time you see how wealthy Dubai is, just know that Chicago parking might have something to do with it. Did you know that?
So what happened is that the original deal wasn't with UAE. It was with believe a Canadian company, and then they end up selling it to across seas. But it's not only the parking meters; it's also the Chicago Skyway. Because Skyway was owned by Chicago, and they sold it to could be the same company or maybe not. I'm not sure. But yeah, so UAE, that's how they end up getting it.
Facts. Yeah, you was stealing. I'm DXPH. You was stealing,
Yeah,
bro.
no doubt.
You stealing. You got some of that, and you went on ahead and disappear real quick.
Yeah.
Because I ain't heard nothing from him. I don't know how long.
I ain't smooth.
Yeah. I learned about that sometime recently, in the recent years, and I was just like, it was so mind blowing when I heard it. I just threw my hands up at it, like.
Their excuse was to pay the pensions, or it was something that they were, pensions is always a big deal, I guess. So they always come up. This is the whole Brandon Johnson trying to come up with $300 million thing. He's always talking about some pension. So, yeah, that's legit. This is the machine here, baby. Chicago is the machine. These niggas be stealing. Crook County.
$200 million a year?
Yeah.
For like 100 years?
99 bottles of beer on the wall.
Bro, 200 million?
Got 59 bottles left.
Jesus Christ. That's I'm gonna buy you money. That's buying people money, bro. That's different. That's buying people money.
That's I in my head. I was just about to ask why, but then somebody's stealing.
Yeah, no, bro.
Chicago is the only
white folk.
Yeah, white folks. Yeah, they go. But Chicago is the only city, I believe, that has aldermen. So we already have a unique situation going on here, where you got aldermen.
What is the purpose of it? I've heard the title all the time, but I never understood what their purpose is.
So aldermen, like they're kind of like, so you got the mayor, and you let's think of aldermen as like little mayors of their own little district or little section of Chicago.
Okay.
Right. So they're responsible for whoever gets businesses and business licenses in their community and so on and so forth. Yeah. So those guys.
So this definition says a board of aldermen is the governing executive or legislative body of many cities and towns in the United States. Boards of aldermen are used in many rural areas of the United States as opposed to a larger city council or city commission. Yeah. Its members are typically called aldermen. So it's like a mini mayor?
Yeah, it's like, because if you got a plethora of liquor stores in your neighborhood, you need to be blaming your alderman. It's garbage and shit around. Blame anything that's popping within your neighborhood or your basically your neighborhood. You need to be blaming your neighbor, your alderman. It's like you wouldn't if you live in a suburb, blame your mayor.
Yeah. This question asks, what is the Board of Aldermen responsible for? Board of Aldermen, also known as City Council, is a legislative body responsible for governing a city. They are responsible for passing ordinances, levying taxes, appropriating funds, and administering city government.
Yeah, I guess they kind of help out the mayor at large.
Kind of like a vice mayor.
Yeah, but you got a whole bunch of these motherfuckers.
Like you got a big mall, then you got a small mall.
Yeah, a little mall.
Yeah, a little mall.
Yeah, so you got a Woodfield Mall, and then you got North Riverside Mall.
Yeah.
Whew, this is crazy, man. It's crazy.
Yeah, there's a lot of politics here. So
I just wonder, like, how. Now, I didn't know that what in the video the guy said, if there's like an event that would close off the streets, there's still, well, who is still responsible for
the city?
paying?
The city, which is going to be the taxpayers. Yeah.
I should never got him started.
Woo. Jeez, man, that's wild. That's how do you rectify that? How do you?
You don't,
like we were talking about loopholes earlier. They mentioned loopholes in the video.
But you know how many people have been probably looking for that loophole to get out of that? You know how many people have probably read over that agreement a million fucking times and they just can't find anything? You think them the Arab people ain't get that airtight? You think they ain't sent that to their lawyer? They probably already had like 10 lawyers working on that. You don't think so? And we finna give y'all $1.1 billion. You don't think we finna have this shit airtight?
And that's the thing with privatizing things, right? Is that
Point exact. Yeah, it get really bad for the regular folks.
And that was one of the things I was asking. My mother and I had a conversation. We were talking about water rights in California when they was having the issue with the fires. And I agree that water should be more so owned by the people, which is, the people of California. They are the one, so California should own the water. But if somebody were to present you an opportunity to own the water, what are you going to do? You don't own the fucking water. I'm not going to be like, no, that ain't right.
You're an investor. You finna go ahead and grab
I'm going to go ahead and grab the water.
I'm finna grab that.
Because somebody else will. That's up to your state for even selling the water rights.
And guess what? That's going to be for your family for the rest of their life.
Yeah.
That's your family is good.
No, absolutely.
You ain't even born yet and you good.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm trying to find the specific name of what it is. And the Chicago Parking Meter Agreement, a 75-year lease between the City of Chicago and Chicago Parking Meters, LLC. Yeah. This agreement was finalized in 2008 to sell the city's parking meters.
You know what that is? That's you buying a motherfucking 1990 99 Honda with an interest rate of like 35%.
35%, 108-month loan. No, just wild shit. Because if you got $1.15 billion and you generate every year $200 million from those parking meters, bro, this is gonna pay itself in like 10 years.
And you got it for 50? What?
No, you got 100. I thought it was 100. What was it, 50?
2084. They got it till 2084.
You know what that loan
75
said?
years.
You know what that loan was? I ain't even gonna count.
Or 2089 or whatever.
That loan was 100% APR. That was 100% APR loan. If you probably add that shit up, that was probably 100%.
That was. It was a long shot, and you got finessed.
So. And you can't like. They have to agree to come back to the table to renegotiate that. And why would they do that?
Right. Like, why would anybody
renegotiate
a deal that's benefiting them?
That's keeping their country afloat for I don't know how fucking long.
Yeah, that's how they're able to build them big dumbass buildings over there.
We paying for that shit.
Yeah.
And guess what? If we don't pay the meters, we still get our license and everything and get tickets on our cars too, though. Mm-hmm. So then you're going to have to pay the meter, and they're going to break Chicago going to break bread of that too. I wonder how that works. When you don't pay the meter and they give you a ticket, do that money go over there to them, or do that like Chicago get a piece of that money?
That's a good question, man. I think that's their people. It may be in the deal because the meter people aren't City of Chicago employees. The meter people aren't.
Oh, so they not really they not employed by the City of Chicago.
No, they're employed by somebody else.
So that's probably they people too.
Yeah, that's probably whoever the company is.
And so so we paying shit even though we don't pay the meter, because you can have a thing where like I just be thinking like, what if you just tell everybody don't pay the meters?
Then you're gonna get that ticket, which is probably ran by the city of Chicago. But I think the way they got it is real interesting because you still got to.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's a lot of
It's
loopholes.
a circular thing.
Yeah.
It's like if you don't do this, then this happens. If you don't do this, then this happens. And if you pay whatever, it's going to go back to the front of things, which are still benefits step 2, 3, 4, and 5.
Yeah.
And it's like $200 million a year times 5 after 5 years. That's $1 billion right there. And you sold it for $1.1 billion, bro.
Even if you did a 10-year deal, that'd have been probably. That's still overboard, but that'd have been much better than this 50-year deal.
75.
Oh, 75 million.
So you made your money back in 5 years, bro.
Yeah.
So the remaining, it was sealed in 2008. It's going to 2089.
Yeah.
You made your money back in 5 years. So
like DXPA
after 2013, it's been pure
that
profit.
man needs to be arrested. He needs to be investigated and arrested for real, for real.
I mean, this is Daley, and this is what they do. I mean, his father was the governor. I mean, not governor, but the mayor for in the 60s and 70s. This Daley Jr., whatever the fuck. He's the same guy. I don't know if you guys ever been to Northern the Island. I'm sure DXPX has been. He knows what I'm talking about. But that used to be Meigs Field. So if you type in Meigs Field used to be an airport on the lake. It's a private airport. I think it was owned by the city, and he bulldozed that overnight. Right, so that was a way for it's kind of like an executive airport where you got private planes or whatever, but you can land right there instead of having to fly to O'Hare and Midway or the executive joint over there in Lake, in Lake County. So he bulldozed that.
What do you put right there?
It's a park.
Oh.
It's a nice park, but this was another way to generate money and revenue. So when you guys ever went to the Air and Water Show?
No, I keep telling myself I want to go, but I always forget.
So when you go to the Air and Water Show, now they take off from O'Hare, I believe, but before or somewhere else. But before they used to fly right there. Right, they'll take off from the Meigs Field. So you can see.
Used to be dope as hell.
Yeah, I mean, you can ride your bike over there. When next time you ride your bike, nice.
We're going to do something.
Yeah, absolutely. It's right behind if Old McCormick Place or the Erie Crown, the Black Building. It's kind of right around there between that and Soldier Field, kind of off to the southeast. But yeah, it's nice over there. It's nice and quiet. It's cool though.
Yeah, man. You guys got anything else for that?
No.